Peace, family, Robot. We want to thank you for coming in and tuning in to another School of Tahuti's Alchemy, Part 5. And like I say, we running them back to back. We keeping you busy. So like I said, we're going to keep this clean, man. We're going to run that intro while we give them time to get in. Let's run that other one.
Young L on the beat.
Like we say, this is Tahuti School of Alchemy, Class 5. And we cracking heads and we twisting caps. Now, like we say, let's get right down off into it. Let's bite right down off into it. Let's bite right down off into it, y'all. This right here stuff is only for high-powered alchemists. We left off talking about the electromagnetic spectrum, about the vibration as you get. This is slower as you get to going to green. You get to speeding up. You get to blue, you speed up faster because blue is traveling in a faster color. You speed up into ultraviolet to ultra black, gamma rays, X rays, ultraviolet rays, right? So we're dealing with the speed of vibrations, right? We got into that all talking about solid, liquid, gas, molecules, all that. Now keep in mind, there's this photon belt, what they calling a photon belt, right? That spins every 2,000 years. They supposed to change the film every 2,100 years, every age. They call it an age. It's really a film. This stuff is heavier and deeper than what you think, right? Here's our solar system that's rotating around this photon belt. All right, hold on. Let's do this. What if this is all a disc? This like a CD disc. All right. Now this photon belt is really like this film right here. Right? Now, they did a prediction on this and saying that, hey, this is what it's going to turn out to be based on what's happening now. But we can alter this film production based on what we do now. We'll get into that in a minute. But this is how, this is a time, we're in a time frequency, like a projector. Like, so this light inside of this camera, there's a light bulb that shines the light through this film. Just same thing with the photon belt, and the projection projects out to our solar system and Earth and all the stuff that's happening. It's the projection, man. I'm telling you, man. It's all a film. It's all a recording. It's all a movie. Tahuti said this is a movie. Right? We just showed you the photon belt. It's a movie, man. So the film is rolling on the top, which is that photon belt, and it's fitting the light is shining the film out right there. Right? You already know what these old school reels, they call it the reels. Like, how do we really determine what's real or not? Like Morpheus said in the movie, real is only electromagnetic frequencies interpreted by the brain. So if everything is made of light and that the light is going through the optic nerves connected with the brain, and everything is really taking place in the mind and everything is light, then man, what is really here? What is really happening here? You gotta, this stuff is like, it's mind boggling to realize that what's really happening here. How everything is really that you considering as real is really interpreted by the brain. Electromagnetic frequencies, waves, sound waves, light waves, sound sped up to turn into light, light sped up to turn into talk. We already been breaking it down. So it's nothing but a big reel, a big film that's playing out. All right, let's get into some of Tahuti's principles, man. Right? So you got the principle of mentalism, the all mind, because this shit is all mind. Like we told you, this is all mind, man. You gotta figure this out. Your universe is mental. So the universe is mental. That's the first rule. That means this stuff is all mind. Everything that's happening here is electromagnetic frequencies interpreted by the brain. We told you that. Then we go into the principles of correspondence, meaning as it is above, so is it below. Meaning it's a government structure above, it's a government structure below. Niggas getting jacked for their whip down below. Niggas get jacked for their whip above. You know what I'm saying? Some aliens, you pull up in the wrong area because we tell you don't go to the nebulas and there's certain zones that's off limits for people that's abide by the laws and rules. It's people that don't abide by the laws and rules up there, just like it is down here. People don't abide by the laws and rules. So some people, and so we protect certain people with our military and our government structure, but we tell you don't go to this zone, don't go out to this zone because it's off limits and we can't try people that's in that zone. So being that the robbers and the thieves know that, they hang out in those nebulas waiting on somebody to cross that don't know what's going on, and they get jacked for their ship, threw out of their ship, robbed, blind, whatever. Niggas getting jacked up there, man. I'm telling you. As it is above, so is it below. Corresponding angles, man. You know what I'm saying? Then the law of vibration, we just talked about the vibration, the molecules, all that polarity. We're going to talk about that too, right? The negative and positive, south and north pole. The principles of rhythm, that's timing. And because we told you, you got to do everything on a certain timing, right? Tahuti taught us the rhythm, man. He taught us the rhythm, but some kind of way along the line, they try to cut us off. But we came, but the music kept us kept us a little bit on beat, but we still off beat because the planet ain't working like it's supposed to work. The principles of cause and effect. What goes around comes around. Well, some people call it karma, right? You gonna get what you put out. That's what the laws of the universe is. The principles agenda. We get into that, right? Now, hold on. Let's see. All right, we already talked about the first law of the universe was the law of oneness. The second law of the universe is the law of vibration. We just talked about vibration and frequencies. At a microscopic level, everything is in a constant motion. because everything is moving, even your cells in your body. The atoms are rotating around each other, just like your solar system. Just like your solar system, the planets are rotating around your nucleus, which will be your sun, and then the planets will be protons and neutrons. I mean electrons. The same thing. A proton is rotating around each other. Protons, electrons is rotating around the nucleus of an atom, all the way down to a microscopic level. Right, that everything gets on a emotional thing. So everything is in constant motion. So if everything's in constant motion, that means it's on a timer. And so if you get slowed down, that's what they call obstacles. Slow, you get slowed down, you lose time. You can lose time and get caught up in time. We're about to break that down, man. Keep on going, man. We don't want to crack. Like we said, we're gonna crack heads and twist caps, but we don't want to, fry your brain here, man. We're trying to give you this right here, all the basics. We got to break all this down. Tahuti said. Vibrations is a specific frequency. This applies to matter, but also one's personal frequency as well. So each of you are resonating on the frequency, and it's also dealing with the astrological chart. Now, like we say, we already put out a tape called the Avatar Program and the Breakdown of Lucy. You watch those two tapes, you understand how you a frequency, right? And how Lucy ended up tapping into that and becoming just a frequency at the end. Once she could tap into all her brain capacity. See, they trying to keep us at 10% brain capacity or less, right? This law says that our vibrational frequency can inform our life experience. Yeah, because so your frequency is based on what happens in your life. Vibration. We get into that. Vibration is a physical movement or oscillation of a mechanical part about a referred point position, referred position, reference position. Okay, I got my glasses on. Let's read that again. Vibrations is a physical movement or oscillation of a mechanical part about a refer reference position, a reference position. All right. No, I get nervous reading that loud, right? But we good though. I told you I could read. I just vibration is a mechanical phenomenon whereby isolation occurs about in an equilibrium point. The word comes from Latin vibranium. The oscillation may be periodic, such as a motion or a pendulum, or random, such as the movement of a tire on a grade paved road. So, yeah. So the vibration is the frequency, man. We get into that. Here you go. Here you go. Frequency. We're gonna get into time too. Now you got what you call highs, mids. The mid is the middle, neutral, lows would be electrons. So the highs would be because it's another based on three. If you study music, and anybody ain't know about music and mixing and EQing and compressing and all this, right? Just keep in mind, like I said, we being compressed. It's a threshold being put on us. We're trying to get the threshold off so we can go higher in frequencies. But we trapped in this. We trapped by way of a threshold into this third dimensional of going into the fifth now because the threshold is going up. It's totally going up. The more intelligent we become, and the more people that start to listen to the information that the new beings are putting out that's sent here to raise the frequency and the brain capacity of the planet of the humans, the more the threshold go up. But we have what you call highs. So this really be a threshold where you cut the wave off it, right? But right here you have what you call the highs. This is the highs. This is the mids, and this is the lows, like proton, neutron, electron. And the wave is frequency is traveling like this. Frequency is a number of occurrences of a repeated event per unit per time. Like so To go back to that, let me show you this based on that. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, or it could be 1, 2, right? And all this is one wave. 1, 2. So it's right here. So it's like count seconds. The wave go like this, right? So time is on the. So if you get that timing down, all right. So if you do something on timing, it'll be on this time wave, right? So it'll be 1. You start like James Brown used to hit him on the 1. Brother Love talk about hitting them on the 1, right? So you start on a 1, boom. So it's a time, it's a rhythm. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a rhythm. You got to get down. It is also occasionally referred to as the temporal frequency of clarity. It says, and the distinct from of angular frequencies. Frequency is measured in hertz, which is equal to 1 event per second. So we get into hertz, terahertz. We already broke all this down, like I say, in the Ascension manual, right? We want to make that clear, man. We already put out the Ascension manual, already cracking heads on this and twisting caps. Okay, hold on. Go back. Reach and frequencies. We're gonna get to it. Boom, boom. Some of this stuff we don't want to have to go over. We already went over in the Ascension manual, but here we go. So we're talking about megahertz, terahertz, gigahertz. Your phone is at 4G, which is a gigahertz, right? You got terahertz. You go all the way up to petabytes, petahertz, yotahertz, right? Get up way up there. Supercomputer is based off of yotahertz. Then the center of the earth built by the Danalco. Let's get into this. So now you got very low frequency, which is considered like you got FM. We're gonna get into all that too, though. All these frequencies dealing with alchemy. This right here is high level, a little bit high level, but like I say, it's still part of the basics. It's a little high level, so this might go over a couple people here that ain't familiar with music or sound frequencies and all that, right? Or why they created the group that did put that song out, Trans Europe Express. Trans Trans Europe Express. And they brought the synthetic music in because they were altering the frequencies to alter our vibration, because they know we are frequencies, we are light, we are these waves that's traveling through the air, that's connected to us from our higher self. A lot of this stuff might go over your head. Somebody I just say, hey man, stop saying it. Yeah. See, it ain't going over your head, you know. Be cool. Be cool, baby. Be cool. So we go up when we can go all the way up to super high frequency, where you get into the 30,000 megahertz. Yeah, megahertz. That's the millions. You know what I'm saying? You get into terahertz. That's the frequencies of color. You got ultraviolet purple that vibrate at 888 terahertz. Once you get past that, you start to go into past the first level of speed of light. But there's other levels of speed of light, like you can go 1,000 times the speed of light, like the Asgards who extract the nucleus out of a cell to create fuel. Unlikes are the same. Tahuti says unlikes are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but difference in degrees. Extreme meets all truth, and but half truth, all paradox may be reconciled. Part 1 describes the 7 Tahuti laws. They call them Hermes. Keep in mind, like we said, Hermes is another name for Tahuti in the Greek joint. They go on the Greeks, you know. The Greek freaks. They took it and turned it into Hermes. Right? Gotta get that. Hey, we know they're listening. Hey, principle. Hey, we keeping it clean though. Hey, principles which govern reality. Right? These are the principles which govern reality. That Tahuti telling you what the game is. He giving you the game, but they don't want us to get this part of the game. They don't want to know. They don't want us to know we high powered alchemists on the land. So it's the principle of mind. Remember, I told you everything happens in the mind. We everything is perceived in the mind. Thought, sound, light. So we perceiving everything is in the mind. They broke that down. Mother Sophia Stewart broke that down in the Matrix when Neo is fighting against Morpheus in the battle of the part one, where he realized that it's in the mind. Everything is happening in the mind. The principle of cause and effect, meaning you think you're gonna do something bad and get away with it. For the elites people, they're gonna do all this bad stuff and work for these people because they think that these people telling them the truth and destroy their own blood and people and race. Because all of us the same race. You might not think it because your color, you think your skin tone makes a difference. Really don't. Blood type, DNA, all of us connected. I can prove that. I can prove that everybody is connected here. Everybody, even the Hindus, the frugal lords, all of us is connected. And the insects, plants, everybody, everything is one. Just like the first law of the universe. There's no number but one. The law of divine oneness. We all one. So we can get out of the racism and oh yeah, we this or that. Everybody trying to be in competition with each other. This shit is bigger than that. Right? The law of vibration, the principle corresponding, the polarity, the rhythm, the gender. We already broke all this down. Right? All right, let's get into the polarity. So magnetism, the universe is based off of magnetism. That's the polarity. The South Pole, North Pole effect. Right? The reverse. That whatever this does, this got to do the opposite. Because one of the laws in alchemy is that when you create a thing, you create its true and exact opposite. And before you create that thing, you must create the base. The base becomes the one side, the foundation, and the other side becomes what you built on top of the base. Thus, this creates the north side or the top, because there's a top and a bottom. As it is above, so is below. So in the alchemy, that based on polarity and based on correspondence, it must be a top and a bottom. The bottom is the base. The top is what you build on top of the base. Then you get into polarities. We was talking about that. Me and Rob was talking about that on the last tape where we was talking about sleeping to the north with your head facing north because your body has the same type of your body is based on this principle. Keep in mind Tahuti was instrumental in creating the humans, Nangazita. And he was one of the master geneticists that was involved with the creation of the Homo sapiens. And so the polarity is dealing with the magnetic, because you got the magnetic grid, just like the planet, like Rod said. So when you lay with the same way of the magnetic grid, that helps you gain this particular energy. All right, here you go right here. Talking about the north and the south. All right. See what it's holding. The earth looks just like this too. It's got a hole at the top and a hole at the bottom, and the energy is coming just like this. This is polarity. All right, just like you right here. You see this figure of this guy where how this polarity is happening. It's a cycle of the chakras going up, connecting, and then creating this force field. This force field actually protects you from certain types of ultraviolet radiation and things. If it's up to speed, this protects you from diseases and all that. If your aura is up to speed. But the game is to get in there and lower this, feed you some, get in there and say, hey man, you need to eat, put on the TV, you need to eat some fried chicken and hamburgers and fries and stuff. To lower this, turn it so we can get it all the way red, so the bacteria can get in and host you and take over your body, and say, give me sugar, water, more sugar, sugar, salt, more sugar, sugar. These bugs We're dealing with bugs here. Right? We're gonna get into it, man. I don't want to get people start thinking I'm crazy, man. Tell you, man, we're dealing with bugs here. The bugs is in on this. The bugs is in on it, man. That's why they gave it. Why they always promoting soda and sugar, all this sugar. Everything is sugar. The bugs is in, and they promoting methane gas. The bugs is in on that, and the combustible cars. The bugs is in on it. Man, you gotta give it. It's more than one influence than the anarchists. The bugs is in on this, man. A couple of people influence. A couple of people that's in on this in bed together. They in bed. You know what that mean? They in bed together. It's a couple of people in bed together here, man. All right, hold on. Let me go back and talk about that. So they got this polarity healing, the where you can heal your energy field. And like I say, we got this machine called the ionic foot bath that you can put your feet in, and it rebalance the negative ions out of your body, because the negative is toxins, sugar, too much salt, too much of anything becomes a negative toxins. So you have to rebalance this by exercising and getting rid of the toxins, flushing your body detox to rebalance this. That's what it's really about. We're about because Tahuti want me to keep. We got about 14, 15 minutes. Tahuti want him to keep it at 40 minutes. So we got a couple more parts we got to put out. But you got that aura, the aura field around you. See what I'm saying? The air, the compressions. The air is compressing and holding us together. What's holding you to? You ever thought about what's holding us together as molecules? Because we are molecules. You can become an unstable molecule, and that's when you begin to deteriorate. Right? Acidic is make you age. Acidics eat away and deteriorate at your molecular structure. So as you begin to take in more acidic level stuff and not keeping the balance, you age, you deteriorate, you die, or what you call die, which is no such thing as death. It's really only you pass. I like the word pass better because you pass, either you pass or you fail. You know what I'm saying? If you fail, right back here, you start over with your memory wiped until you pass. And then when you pass, you get the decision to either come back here to be a teacher or go on to the next school, which is the fifth dimensional school, which by default, the planet is finna get ready to go back to that, because it's supposed that this planet was already more advanced during that time, right? But like I say, acidics and alkaline, when we're dealing with this alchemy. Keep in mind your hands and your feet are the charge. Toxins come out through your bottom of your feet, your hands, why people hands sweat. Your head is where the heat releases it, right? So you gotta know these points of releasing these toxins. Toxins come out of your midsection. We don't want to go too deep on that. But all these key points onto your body is controlled by frequencies. Okay, polar laboratory theory, we already got into that. And this right here's another picture of it. Right, we cracking heads and we twisted caps. This is Tahuti School of Alchemy. Right? Hey, hit that like button, right? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button anyway, but hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, man. And then hit that bell. Like I say, sometimes people don't get the notifications. So come back and check with us every day, man. We got something coming out every day. We ain't playing no games. We non-stop action. Trying to take care of those babies. We non-stop action. All right, dealing with the Kundalini, the chakras, right? Most of y'all already should be up to speed. We got whole tapes on every chakra, right? I already put out in the ascension classes. We go over the root chakra, the sacred chakra, the solar plex, or the sacred solar plex, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. We break down every chakra already in the go to the playlist, go to the Ascension Manual classes. We break down all the chakras in there, right? 1 through 7, and it's really 9 or 7 more higher ones. We get into them, right? That they talk about. All right, so this represents the body, the first body type, which is the woman's body type, right? Right shoulder, you know what I'm saying? It goes to break it down, right? We get into it. All right. So 5-point start technique. 5-point start technique, right? So know that these certain points are key points on the body as far as keeping all up. These are the all points. Want to keep these points all up, right? Contact points. All right, keep in mind what these toes and fingers connect to, the different chakras, right? I'll give you a second to look at that, man, while I take a sip. Tahuti said keep it under 40 minutes, man. We're gonna keep it. We got about 9 minutes. We'll try to cram a lot of stuff here in this next what is corresponding meaning? All right, so like I say, as it is above, so is it below. These are corresponding angles, identical angles right here. They match up. Right here, right? So you get a load of it, bro. Get a load of it. All right, here's another corresponding angle. As it is above, so is it below. That's the law of universe. It's got to be what they call I'm trying to think of the term that they use for I know as it is above, so is it below, but it's another term they use for where these are identical. All right, corresponding angles 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 5 and 1. So you look at that. Keep them numbers in mind. Them corresponding numbers. 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 2, 5, 4, 6, 8 on this side. Cause they working on this side. Another concept of as it is above, so is it below. You see it? They got the root of the tree. They look just like the top of the tree. You ever notice that? A big tree. If you look at the X-ray of that bottom of that tree, in the ground, it looks just like the top of the tree. As it is above, so is it below. So this is all it's called correspondence. Correspondence. So that's why your shadow will be like your corresponding angle. Your shadow. We can get into shadow. We're gonna get into shadow work because Tahuti is the master of shadow work. He's the master of the mirrors, of mirror work. But Tahuti always told me don't mess with the mirrors because the mirror is too much. It takes too much energy and it's too dangerous. And if you go there, if you get in there and you get caught slipping, you could get trapped. So cause and effect. We talked about cause and effect. What goes around comes around. Karma. Charleston White said that this is for poor people. That dude, what I think about Charleston White. Charleston White, he got common sense, but he ain't that intelligent. Like he intelligent, but he don't know a lot of stuff, man, about the universe and about real science. He just a street dude making him some money. He do a lot of talking, and he bark at people. And all that. But when it don't come down to universal knowledge, he got it. He got natural and not natural common sense, but just for the stuff right here, he talking about ain't no such thing as the cause and effect was for poor people and all this. Nah, nigga, the nigga that designed this shit, this matrix or whatever you want to call it that we in, these rules are based off of this. What's happening? If you look at nature, if you look at what's happening in the world, or just happening, period, how everything happens, it's based off of these principles, cause and effect. If you shoot a nigga, you might go to jail. If you shoot yourself, you might bleed out. It's a cause and effect. If if you do something, you're gonna get a response or effect from that, whatever you do. It's not just you could do something and ain't gonna be if you plant some seeds in the now you can plant something and then you could probably say if it don't grow then you didn't get a result, but you did get a result. The result is it didn't grow, so your cause must not have been right. So you got your cause, then your effect. So you gotta, when you planted that seed, if it didn't grow, you gotta cause. I mean, effect. The effect that is that it didn't grow, right? So the cause and effect thing, you gotta understand that, man. The catalyst, the motive, the reason. That's another thing I want to talk about before I get out of here, man. Because we running about 6 minutes to the time, right? Got about 6 minutes. I'm gonna run about 6 more minutes, but so one of my basic principles that I stand on in my things that I teach in and that I got from the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, free Dr. Malachi Z. York, is that I base my base off of sound, right, and reasoning. Right, that's the three basic principles that we use in New Wapo to build our base all our information and our research off of. Does it sound right? Can you reason with it? Does it make sense? Right? Sound right and reasoning. Can you? So I use those three terms. That's what I teach my boys in order to start building a base off of what type of mindset you want to have. You want to have a sound right mind, a sound right mind. They talk about that in the scripture too, as well, in the Bible. You want to be able to reason. You don't want to be all the way crazy, go all the way crazy, and then flunk out, man. Have yourself in hell. They call it jail, right? But the J and the H is interchangeable. So you don't want to trip out and have your not using reasoning, man. Reasoning generates wisdom. When you start using your reasoning, you start to get wiser and wiser the more reasoning you use. When you start using sound right, if it don't sound right, man, that's rhythm. That's because if it don't sound right, the timing's off on it. You know what I'm saying? Because if your call don't sound right, that means the timing belt is off, or something's wrong with it. Something's wrong with your story if it don't sound right. If something's wrong with something, it don't work properly, right? So that's the real game to this, man. But we wanted to talk about that. So we build our base off of sound right and reasoning. We understand that there's cause and effect to everything. So if you how you get ahead of the game is when you do something, if you know the effect of it and you are willing to accept that effect, then you start to get ahead of the game. Once you understand the law of cause and effect, meaning if I do this, this is what's gonna happen. If I go to work, I'm gonna get some money. That's what you hoping, right? If I go to work and make some money, I'm gonna make some money. If I do something wrong, criminal, I can potentially the effect is going to jail. The side effect, they call them a side effects, right? If you take a certain type of drug, if you already took that drug, we don't recommend nobody taking no drugs unless you got from your proper physician, right? We gotta say that for YouTube purpose. But the cause and effect, you take a certain type of drug, it's gonna have an effect when you take it. That the taking it is the cause, the effect is the side effects or the results of taking it, right? So there's a cause and effect. So for Charleston White to come on and say there's no such thing as karma, cause and effect, and then for him to create a cause by going out to T.I. or King and all these other guys, and knowing the effect is they could potentially come back after me. Thus, I can get some money from going back and forth with these guys. So he doing his very scheme. Well, I can't say it's a scheme. I mean, it might best be his hustle. His very hustle is based off of cause and effect. The very hustle that he's doing is based off of cause and effect, right? And that's a fact. And it's a difference between fact and truth. People must understand that. It's a difference between fact and truth. Truth never change. Fact is subject to change. It's a fact that it's 12 o'clock a.m. right? 12 was 1 o'clock a.m. right now when we doing this tape. Shout out to Tahuti wants to crack heads and twist caps. You probably be seeing it at 3 o'clock p.m. on one of these days soon. It's pre-recorded like probably like 7-8 days prior. But maybe like 6-7 days prior, right? But Tahuti, the cause and effect is real, man. You know, when you get into alchemy, the real breakdown of alchemy. So if you do a planning and you see you do a calculation on, if I do this, what gonna be the outcome? This is really how you get into really playing chess, really getting into playing chess in life, and applying the chess format to life through the school of Tahuti. When I make this move, what is the cause? I mean, what is the effect from this move that I'm gonna make? And what's the response? Does it sound right? And reasoning. It's what we got to talk about here, man. And on that note, Tahuti said, make it short and snappy. We about to get ready to get up out of here, man. We cracking heads and twisting caps in them 40-minute increments, like Tahuti say do. All right, so this is what we're gonna say to you, man. Peace, Hotep, Islam, Assalamu alaikum, Salam alaikum, Hotep. Ashuk, divine love to out the boundless universe to all. Wadu.